Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I'm going to use my Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, which I have right here, and I have my cleansing crystal on top. All right, so let's see. Whoa! Those came flying out. So we have Harmony. So we have the Lovers crossed by the Ace of Triumph and Success, Ace of Swords. All right, we have the, what do you need to focus on? We have the Tower. What are you leaving behind? I feel like you're giving up a lot for a relationship. For some reason that just came across. I feel like you're giving up a lot for a relationship just because the Ace of Pentacles came out for what you're leaving behind or your past. Your strengths, the Seven of Pentacles, patience and planning. Near future, we have spiritual union, the Two of Cups. Advice, we have intuition, which is the High Priestess. The environment, we have number 5, emotional loss. Cutting ties. I just feel like the sword is like cutting right through these two people for some reason. That's what I'm getting. And then with this emotional loss, I feel like you're giving up something for a relationship. I just keep getting this strong feeling that you're giving up something for a relationship. This could be a friend, a family member, work, partnerships. But for some reason, that's what I feel like, is that sword is like cutting right in between the two of you. So the environment, emotional loss, and then we have hopes and fears. We have Four of Cups. Ooh, I love that. Potential outcome, we have stand your ground, the Seven of Wands, and then overall energy, we have Six of Swords, moving on. I feel like there's a relationship that you need to move on from. I feel like but I feel like there's new relationships coming in for you. And are you feeling like you don't want to leave this relationship because you feel like you're not going to find another one, or you're not going to find one as strong? But I feel like this is like I said, I feel like there's a knife that's gone right between the two of you. And I feel like it's brought on this sense of emotional loss, and I almost feel like you're afraid or you're worried about moving on because it's going to give you this discontent and boredom, and that you're not going to find someone that's the same, or you're not going to be, I don't know, I just feel like you have an attachment to this relationship, and I feel like you've given up a lot for it, and I feel like you've given in a lot for this relationship. For whatever reasons. So what you need to focus on is we have the Tower here, okay? Disruption. And that Tower moment. It could be that, see, I feel this is two separate. It could be that you work on things and that you speak up and that things change and then you come back together. Because I feel like these two people, like their heads are touching and like they're connecting there and coming back together. But I mean, that could be what the energy is. But I feel like this is something that you have to cut ties with and that you have to move away from. And the last reading I just did, there was a Tower. I think the Tower was, the advice was over here in the Tower. And it was that breakup and moving on from a relationship or a situation or something that you were thinking about. And I kind of feel like it's the same energy. Because you're not feeling like this relationship is a triumph and a success. Like you're not feeling like this relationship is rewarding as you want it to be. And I feel like that's what you need to look at, and that's what you need to recognize, and don't sweep those feelings under the rug, because I feel like you've given up a lot for this relationship. And I feel like you've put, and it could be that you've put, sometimes we feel like, well, I put so much time into this and I put so much work and I put so much effort. And it's like, is all of that paying off for you? Is that really working out for you? Or do you just keep continuing to put more and more and more and more into this relationship and into this situation? And is it draining you? And I feel like that's what you need to look. It's almost like you need this shake up within yourself to really see what's going on. Because do you have rose-colored glasses in this situation? And especially with the overall energy is moving on, right? That Six of Wands is you have to move on from a situation. You have to move on either mentally or physically and mentally from this situation. And I feel like since this is kind of a repeated message from like the one I just did, and I changed up the decks and everything. That's why I changed my decks, is to see if there's different energy or messages here. I feel like the advice is listen to your intuition and listen to that inner guidance and that inner voice. And what is that telling you? And don't ignore it. I feel like that is very important for you. Your strengths is patience and planning, which is the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like maybe that's why you haven't moved on, because you haven't taken that time to plan things out. But I feel like you're really good at having patience, and definitely with, you know, the Pentacles, like the earth signs are very patient, and they wait, and they don't do anything until they've kind of got that next plan or that next step. And I feel like that's a good quality of yours, but definitely it could be something that is working against you, because if you keep trying to have patience with this and you keep trying to make this work out when inside you know that it's not going to. In the near future, we have the Two of Cups, and I feel like it's coming together, and I feel like it could be coming together with yourself and kind of realizing things. But I do feel that there's new relationships. If you stay in a relationship that you're not happy with, and you keep struggling with, and you keep trying to make excuses, and you keep, you know, you're not feeling that you've given up, like you're feeling like you've given up a lot, and that you're not feeling good about the relationship. If you keep in that relationship, you're going to prevent yourself from meeting new relationships or forming new relationships and meeting new people and having these opportunities to have these relationships that are more fulfilling. If you keep going back and you keep fighting for something that doesn't work for you, that you're preventing yourself from these new meetings because you're keeping yourself in this heavy energy that's here. Whether it's thoughts that you have in your head that you keep trying to make, you know, have a reconciliation with somebody, right? Is that what you're trying to do? Like you're trying to have a reconciliation, or you're trying to work things out. But I feel like this is a relationship that you've tried working on for a really long time. Like this isn't something that you're quickly giving up on, or it could be. But I mean, I just feel like it's something that you're invested in, and that's why you're not really seeing what's going on. Again, listen to your intuition for advice. The environment is emotional loss, and that you're going through this emotional loss, or you're thinking about this emotional loss, and you're like, well, if I don't have this person in, you know, person in my life, then this isn't going to happen, and that's going to happen, and you know, it's the holidays, and then I'm going to be alone, and then it's just like, you know, you're feeling like this sense of emotional loss. But it's like we have to have that grieving time, and then we move on from it, and then we move forward. Do we ever forget? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but it's like time to move on, because why do you want to keep yourself in that energy? And I feel like that's kind of something that you have to see, and you have to recognize. That's usually the Five of Cups, is where you have 3 cups in front that the person is looking at, 3 spill cups, but 2 cups behind you. And that's kind of funny, because if that card was here, it would be like the 3 cups are in front of you over here because he's facing this way, but behind him is the Two of Cups, and that's the card that's behind you, is the Two of Cups. So I feel like you're focusing on the 3 spill cups too much, right? That you're focusing on that emotional loss too much. Like yes, give yourself time to grieve and time to process, but Don't keep yourself in that energy, because again, you're preventing yourself from seeing the new relationships and forming the new relationships, right? That you're preventing yourself from doing that because you're staying focused on one thing. We have the hopes and fears as discontent and boredom. And yes, like you may be by yourself for a while, but it's all how you look at it. Like if you're going to succumb to that disconnect and boredom, or you're going to say, you know what, now I have all this free time to do whatever I want to do. And what is something that I've been wanting to do, but I haven't been able to do because I've been in this emotional roller coaster, right? What is something that I would really like to do? You know, is it, you know, picking up a new hobby? Maybe it's doing, you know, maybe it's just like cleaning out the garage or cleaning out your closets or reorganizing things or doing those things that you're like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to do that, but I just haven't had time to do it. But now you have that time, right? Don't fall into that disconnect and boredom. Like keep your eye on that and say, okay, I'm not going to fall into this energy. I'm going to find other things to focus on and other things to do. Maybe it's doing a puzzle. Maybe it's starting a new craft. Maybe it's getting yourself out there, right? Joining new clubs. Maybe it's, you know, having that time to spend time with your friends or family. And, you know, there's so many other things to do. And then the potential outcome is stand your ground, which is 7 of Wands. Don't give up for you, right? Fight for you. Don't give up on you. And moving on, right? Time to move on from a situation. Time to let that go. Time to cut the cord. You know, just take that sword and cut through it and be like, okay, I'm done. But it's up to you, right? Sorry. I'm feeling better, but... Not 100% yet. All right, so let's grab a Star Dragons. Look behind you, right? Change your position. Change your perspective. All right. Oh, sorry. Healing. Restoring hope. That's the biggest thing is healing yourself and restoring hope within yourself. And that's very important. Because you have to do that for you. Sorry. All right. So I'm going to end it here because I'm kind of having a coughing fit. I apologize for that. But I didn't want to, at least I got through the reading. I got through most of it. All right. So again, healing and restoring hope to yourself, right? Focusing on changing your position and focusing on the 2 of Cups behind you, cutting out what doesn't work for you, because the Tower is something that's built on a false foundation and it's not working for you and it's cracking. And to build things that are sturdier and stronger for yourself and listening to your intuition, right? Not falling into discontent and boredom, not falling into that energy, but listening to that inner voice that you have. And don't give up on things that are important to you, right? Don't give up. Yes, we have to compromise within relationships, but we also, we don't want to have to give up things, be giving up more things than we are gaining. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.